So what was your core inspiration for making the film?
Go ahead.
All right.
There we go. Nice light question, right?
No, I think our core inspiration was to make a film. We had made films together, and it was we wanted to make something.
Mm-hmm.
The horror genre is, first of all, a favorite, but it's coming from my heavy metal background, I just saw it as very like-minded in that the same devotion that I see to heavy metal is the same devotion that I see to horror, and quite obviously they overlap in many ways. And when I see fans at Metallica concerts, they're often wearing shirts and patches and hats and things of their favorite horror movies, and vice versa. You come to a horror thing, you see you see bands and things. So it's these things go together, and it seemed like the natural way to go. The thing was what to do, and that took a while, and there was no date or pressure on it. It was just like we were knocking this around for a while. But when it was, we've always sort of fondly remembered Action Park, mainly surviving Action Park, and so we would always laugh about it for years. Our other friends too, we would talk about it, and only in the past like decade it got kind of a notoriety because of the documentaries and kind of people telling their stories, and so it was now like it's almost like the war or something. It's like people didn't talk about it, now they talk about it.
But do you have the scars to prove it? Is the question, right?
Well, Adam had at the time when he got hurt on a Tarzan swing ride, and it was basically there was a pit of water. Right. Someone literally just dug a pit, threw a bunch of water in it, and you climbed around it all the way up, going to the top. And there was a Tarzan swing at the top. You'd swing, and then you'd fall into this pit of water.
Is it shallow? I can imagine it's not very deep.
I'll tell you what,
I don't know.
The early part of the swing is if you let go, which our friend almost did early on, you're just going to fall off a tower, and like there's nothing to prevent that.
No.
So there was a ramp there. So if you did fall early, you hit this ramp and you slide into the water. So Adam and I, all of us
fall from a height. You get hurt. It's not like you hit the ramp and everything's fine.
No.
You'd hit the ramp, get hurt.
No. You get some rug burns. It had some fake green grass crap on it. So everybody's lined up, and the thing is, so everybody can watch people swinging off. So no one's, people are trying to do flips and other things, but all everybody wants is to see someone get hurt. That's it.
People are looking for damage.
It's like car crash, right? You see a car crash, your instant thing is to turn your neck and see what's going on. Right. It's just our instinct.
It's
morbid,
crazy.
but it is.
No. It's a little different. This is New Jersey, okay? So it's not just a car crash. It's not just entertainment. It's like these guys are like standing around like,
they're yelling and screaming.
They're yelling, and everybody's high and been drinking. Some of them have like.
So it's more entertainment. It's
they're looking for. It's more gladiatorial. They're looking for blood. You know what I mean? They're looking for somebody to bust his head.
So we're lined up as we're swinging around. We're all watching people do flips and other things. Adam goes, I think I'm going to try a flip. I'm like, why? He goes, I don't know. He was feeling. I'm like going, I don't think you should do it. He goes, I'm going to do it. I'm like, all right. So he was before me. I was like, I'm going first. So now I'm like, crap. So now I really got to pay attention because no one's in there going to help him if something happens.
No. It's like you're on your own.
So he gets up there and he's really determined, right? And I'm like, all right, you do your thing.
I was feeling it.
You were feeling it. He goes out. He does the swing. He gets off. And he's starting to do it. He gets to about a 180. I'm like, oh crap, he's going to do it, right? But he gets to that 180, and now his back is flat to the water, and like the flip stopped, and he just goes straight down. It's
15 feet.
You can hear it.
Right into the water, and there's just this slap, and everybody goes, oh, like that. He didn't hear it because he was, does that Wile E. Coyote and just sinks into the water, right? But at least the water was cold, so he gets back up, and everybody's like,
well, it was,
and his back is the color of your hair.
It was, but it's mixed with, how come you didn't die? And people just cursing you and flipping you off. So it wasn't really. They weren't so much boosting you as kind of calling for your death too. So
totally.
Anyway, you got a little thumbs up and you got a lot of thumbs down.
Yeah, that's it. The proper gladiatorial moment.
Exactly. Right?
But that basically tells you how the day went. But like we said during the when Scott was asking us questions. When we were walking in, we actually did see the Cannonball Loop, which was the death loop in our movie, and it was already shut down because it was already like
it didn't test well.
Like there is actually footage you can see people actually doing it and going through it, but very rarely. And
footage can be edited, and those are the ones that lived.
Yeah. Those are the ones that lived.
Like just think, the footage you didn't see is probably the one you want to see.
Bad stuff, but it was known for taking your teeth. Because you go around that up, and then you'd be up time, and you just fall flat
slam
onto
the top.
They'd say they would find
that's
teeth
velocity.
Stuck
You
in
can't
there.
control it. There's no
physics.
Exactly right.
So it was But we saw it, and Adam and I just said, no way.
That's not happening.
And like I said, we did some really stupid shit in our
And I would say that probably, from my experience as a consumer of this genre, the best thing you could do is write from your own experience.
It is.
Right?
That's
what shows in that film, is you guys had that experience of going to a nightmare park.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, fucking throw that in something.
That's
right.
When we decided to write this horror movie and make this horror movie, we knew this is something we could do because we didn't need big name actors, but we were going to make sure to find really good actors, which we did. But it was drawing from that place is just meant for it. It writes itself almost. We took a list of all the rides. We came up with what's a cool way to kill someone on each one of these rides.
Yep.
And then naturally it has to get pared down again because of budget constraints. But we knew we had to put the death loop in it or the cannonball loop in it because that's signature.
Yep.
We knew we had to do something with an alpine slide. Things to go, yes, this was once a water park type, situation. So we came up with all that. We wrote this movie, and it was amazing to watch people see it on the screen.
And one thing that I really loved about the film was the tonal changes. So like the one we've just seen, the found footage, you have that element of horror, but bringing in the comedy and that life relief is really needed. And that alpine slide was the most amazing what was the setup for that? Because it looked like a Scooby-Doo. Like you've got the two carriages, you've got the villains chasing Scooby and Shaggy. You're like, that was the vibe I got. So what was that like?
Adam and I, when the movies we make, there's always a huge comic element to them already because we love to laugh.
And you look at they're made for that. The goggles and their expressions, they're just wonderful.
Of course. So it's like, if we're going to do it, we're not going to, go full hard because it's like, we want to have fun. We don't, yes, we want to scare people. Yes, we want to make it a little creepy, but I don't think Adam and I could do something where we didn't make people laugh.
Yeah.
So it's like, everything has that little bit of comic. As we're writing it, we're putting in jokes. We got to take stuff out because you guys got to remember we're making a horror movie. Got to be, a little. We got to take it a little more seriously. But at the same time, Evil Dead 2 was a movie that really finally got me really into horror because I'm like scared of my own shadow. So it's like they dragged me to this, and I'm like laughing as much as I'm freaked out. And I was like, okay. And then after that, I wanted to see every scary movie I could get my hands on.
Because that was a really clever move on their part, because they made the horror, and then they're like, we relearned from our mistakes. Let's put our personality into it, and that's what works so well with your feature. You can read your humour. We kind of almost get to know you through the film.
That's right.
And chatting with you guys, you can radiate it, and that works so well.
Right. So I think that's what we were looking for. So when you asked about like the alpine slide, and there was a couple things that we knew we had to build. That was really the impetus. We knew we didn't have enough money to go film in a proper amusement park and rent it out for what would be the 15 days of the shoot, because that would be a lot.
Yes.
Even 10 days of the shoot would be a lot. 5 days would be a lot. So
we looked at some.
It just didn't. What made more sense, which is really how this. It's funny. You make the constraints that you have become, weaknesses really are strengths if you write it right. So we just said, well, why does there have to be a park that's living now? What if this whole thing burned down 15 years ago, right? And these guys are still running around there, and people go on that land and they take them out. So now we're freed in a way. Yeah. We could only put the things there that we wanted to, and the kind of the story behind that was that the twins kind of, I guess, they salvaged what they wanted from the park. They built and maintained the pieces that they wanted in the way that they wanted. So they turned obviously the death loop into a killing machine death loop, and
basically
it reminded me of a wood chipper, like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Destroying the wood chipper. I was like that scene when you go in, he's like, did you see the blood? That's what that reminded me. It was wonderful.
Right.
So can't do that. So we have to make our own.
So we kind of did that. So everything was sort of to, resolve something. But it's amazing how much you can get away with without showing something, but inferring something if you do it the right way. So if you take again the death loop, it's like it obviously would have been quite expensive to build like the inner machinery to show you like a bunch of whirling blades. Not impossible, but it would have been something. And we just said, I don't know, do you ever really need to see the blades? What's really important is that it's almost interesting.
It's the sound engineering. It's wonderful.
And really, it's the gallons of blood getting spit out at the end, which is the more entertaining part of it.
Especially the end piece when they go through and she's there
as the trap,
getting in the face.
You're
like, oh my god.
And that was a fun day on set when we were firing this air cannon thing of blood.
That was one of the big things. All the actors, they go, when do we get to get covered in blood?
That's what they live for.
And it's like, and normally when they were getting covered in blood, it's like 3 a.m. in a cold night, and they just were like, yes, and they're covered in it, and they love it.
They came to do a horror movie. I mean, it's the thing you want. You know what I mean?
You're not there making an art house. You're here to be covered in
it's
gore.
Our art
It's
house.
wonderful. Grindhouse.
That's right.
Yeah, they get covered, but they loved getting covered in that blood. And
that was good. Yeah.
That was the other thing. It's like, yes, we have all these practical effects in there, but at the same time, we are working on a 15-day schedule.
Yes.
And I think we spoke about it last night. Is that in order to do really good practical effects, you need time, and time was something we didn't have. It's a luxury.
Yeah.
So in order to do these things, if we were going to do it, it had to be most likely a one-taker, because to clean someone up or to reset something is just a time killer.
Damage a prop.
There's damage a prop. So much reset.
Yeah.
And for us, it's like we just wanted more of it, but we couldn't do it. So it's like when we did it, we had to make it count. And if we get to make another one, which we are planning to do, for sure.
I mean, you had a saying, you put it up there, it's a promise, that was in writing.
You got it.
And
there's going to be more of that. You're going to make sure to really get that blood in there.
Okay, wonderful. And what is your favourite kill individually from this film?
Oh, man.
I know, right? It's like Sophie's Choice, you can't choose, but we have to choose one.
I really like our opening scene, which I feel is like a little movie in itself, and watching that whole thing come together, and then, especially for the audience, not knowing exactly what's going to happen, and then it does happen, for me is a highlight for me. It's like, oh shit, it actually is going to happen. You see that blood, and you see our characters shocked, like, oh my god, this thing is real. I love that.
Yeah. And that duo, the YouTuber duo, obsessed. We need a series with them, please.
They would be terrific.
That would be awesome.
Wonderful.
We did. I mean, you write something, but when the actors kind of came together to pull it off and came to life, and then we edited it and put it together, we're like, it played even more strongly. Like we're like, oh, that's really good. Even the characters in the beginning, who oftentimes in films are like kind of in a way throwaways to just demonstrate that like there's a killer loose in some way. Even the girl in Jaws is like, it's like she's there. You don't really get to know her. You see that she's at a campfire party, and then she's there to show that like there's this shark loose that's killing. And these guys were so good that we suddenly realized like, oh, that could have been like its own movie. That's how good that was. So it's kind of it got us thinking like that's cool. I would probably say his kills. I'm not going to say the obvious ones towards the end, which are bigger, I would say, but I really like the ones that had to do with the water balloon blowing up thing. That's like one of those carny games. Yeah, it's a classic carny game that like we all have seen at every carnival and amusement park.
And in my little head, I'm going, that would fit so wonderfully in Killer Clowns.
Yes,
I instantly
totally
was like,
right.
That's where I'm pulling from.
But that's where we're pulling it from too. That's
a
huge
we were definitely
inspiration
thinking
for
about
us,
that.
that
movie.
And those explosions were done indoors too. So it was
really? Oh god, the cleanup.
Again, plastic everywhere. And,
Dexter.
That was Dexter.
Yeah.
So
it was fun when that came off, and we we had a good time. Everybody, watching that. And for some reason, that stuff always seemed to happen at 3 in the morning. You're like exhausted. Everything like that was at 3 in the morning.
Yeah. And you can't go wrong with a good head explosion. They're generally the ones that get the
That's
pops.
why we give you 2.
Yeah.
Exactly. I blended it. I love that. Okay, and then I've just got one final question. I've been asking everyone all festival, and it always catches people. Each of you, you're going to be showing this film in a double feature. What's your feature you'd pair with it?
Can it be a movie that's
Any film you want. Anything you want that you think would work really well, or that you would like to... You think that would work thematically, or you'll just really love?
Okay, well, I have 2. What you already mentioned, Killer Clowns, which would be great, but and if not, I would go Critters, the very first Critters movie. I think it would pair really well with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I could really agree with that.
I don't mean to.
No.
It's my choice.
Critters a real good one.
A lot, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I told you, just a real favorite is Evil Dead 2. It's always going to be. It's just in my head constantly.
Such a great movie.
Before making this film, I rewatched it, and it's just as good as ever. Although I will say, the first time I saw it, and I knew Sam Raimi. I mean, I kind of went there kind of excited for it, but it still blew my mind. I can remember seeing it. I can remember coming out after seeing it and being like...
We were in the parking lot for a while talking
about it. That, like, what just happened and
how... That's all practical.